Hello friends, welcome to Akul Mac Live. I am Kanchan, and in this series of great rishis of India, yet again I am discussing about one of the greatest Saptarishi. And I'm talking about Gautam Rishi. He is associated with many tales, many stories. A part of this, he has also written many hymns in Rig Vedas. A part of this, I would also want to tell you that he is considered as one of the supreme jurists of the world. So stick around to this episode till the end to know more about this wonderful great Rishi Gautam. Gautam Rishi is a progenitor of Gautam Gotra. In Hindu culture, Gotra is very important because we use this Gotra system in worship, in our rituals. And what we really mean by Gotra, in English, we can refer it as a lineage. So Gautam Rishi has started Gautam lineage, and even today we mention Gautam Gotra or Saptarishi. All Saptarishis have the Gotra. They have started a lineage, so we mention that. A part of the Gautam Rishi is also being mentioned in Ramayana, is also being mentioned in Mahabharata. He is married to Ahilya and he had two sons. So when we are talking about Gautam Rishi, he has a special place in our Hindu culture. A part of this, as I mentioned, he has written Dharma Sutra, which is kind of first book written on the laws to deal in society. Gautam Rishi used to travel with the intention to help people. So in his lifetime, he traveled long distances. And it is said that during his lifetime, there was 12-year famine. But dwellers of his ashram never felt that calamity. And there are stories when villagers and other rishis also came to his ashram to live, and there was no shortage of food. So he has the tendency to help people. A part of this, it is also said that he has mastered Savitri mantra, which is said to be very powerful mantra of Rig Veda. And Savitri is one of the deity which is considered as very powerful in Vedas, and it's also considered as she is daughter of sun and mother of Vedas. So this is one wonderful contribution of Gautam Rishi. And very interesting story I would like to tell you that it is said that Gautam Rishi was born blind, but with the blessing of Kamdhenu cow, he attained his vision, and that's why we call him Gautam. Gau means cow and Tam is darkness. With the blessing of Kamdhenu, the darkness of his life was erased. So that this is how we know him as Gautam Rishi. There's a very interesting story about Ahilya and Gautam Rishi. It happened that one fine day, Gautam Rishi went to Ganges to take bath, and in between, the king of heavens, Indra, came in disguise as Gautam Rishi, because king was always very fascinated by the beauty of Ahilya and her intellect. But while leaving the ashram, he is caught by actual Muni, Gautam Muni, and he became very angry, and he knew that this is Indra who is in disguise as Gautam Rishi. So he cursed both Ahilya and Indra, and in this he cursed Ahilya to become stoned. But a part of this, he was also given a boon to Ahilya that one day when God Ram will come and touch with his lotus feet, she will become again human, and this curse will be lifted. So what happened that when all this happened, Gautam Rishi, it is sad that he lost all his powers which he attained from meditation, from his good work. So to attain more goodness, he left his ashram and went to Himalayas to again revive his powers, again revive his goodness. So I think this is one of the best example that we should always indulge in good rather than negative things. because whatever good we do, goodness comes to us, it returns to us, and if we do negative things or bad things, they also comes to us. So I think this story is a very good example that we as humans should always indulge in doing good things. Gautam Rishi used to emphasize in logic, injustice. He used to say there's no difference between justice, accomplishment, and wisdom. Once there's a story where he went to the battlefield where the Kaurav and Pandavas was fighting, and at that point of time, Dronacharya has become the commander in chief. He straightway went to Dronacharya and said that you should not fight this war because this is against the dharma. It is against the system in which you are indulging. So it's better to leave the war and it's better to die and go to heaven. And to astonishment to everybody, that Dronacharya left the battlefield. And see, so this instance shows that how respected Gautam Rishi was. Everybody used to follow his instruction. He has written Nyaya Shastra, and which is considered as one of the sixth philosophy of Indian philosophy, where it comes directly behind Vedanta and Yoga. So the Dharma Sutra and Nyaya Sutra, which Gautam Rishi has written, has a very everlasting importance and influence on Indian culture, especially Hindu culture. Well, the ashram of Gautam Rishi was at Darbhanga, which is current state of Bihar in India. And he was a very good archer also. Nyaya Sutra, or we call it Dharma Sutra, is a system of philosophy which tries to establish the presence of God and the relationship between soul and God, soul and the world, through the method of systematic logics by means of gardening information. Dharma Sutra is a book which tells us about the discipline, duties in the form of law. And it is devoted to the student, the orders of person's life, householders, occupation of four varna or caste system, as we say, the king's duty, impurities, ancestral's offering, women marriage, properties, inheritance, and daily rites and ritual, even sins. So the whole explanation is like covering the whole aspect of living life. In Manusmriti, as we have mentioned in earlier episode, so which has become a very popular book. Likewise, Mahashi's Gautam Dharma Sutra is also very, very important book where we can take guidance about the justice in the societies, the duties of householders, or he also described right conduct and celibacy, which is also one of the integral part when we are talking about Hindu culture. Muni Gautam also described duties during distress time. He also says description of various concentrations like sanskar, we call it in Hindi. Then duties, occupation of different castes, as I mentioned below. And a part of this, there is the duties of king, which even today in political scenario we mention like Raj Dharma, the king, duties of the king. Various type of impurities also mentioned in the Dharma Sutra, which is written by Gautam Rishi. So one final point which is I would like to mention is distribution of wealth among sons. That is also mentioned in the Dharma Sutra of the book which is written by Gautam Rishi. Dharma Sutra consists of 28 chapters and 1000 sutra, or we call it hymn, and it is also considered as world's oldest law book. So it is amazing. It is very, very important document which is written by Gautam Rishi. Nyaya Darshan believes, or Dharma Sutra, according to Gautam Rishi, he believed that there are 16 material that meant to achieve the supreme state or a logical justice. And these 16 materials are evidence, rational, doubt, vision, principle, ingredient, logic, as he is a propagator of logic and justice, and then principle, then ism, bubbling, then controversy, because in any justice we encounter controversy, we also encounter doubts, we also want to see evidence. And a part of this he also mentioned in this book about parallelism, craftiness, caste, because in those days justice also divided into caste system, though we don't believe it now in our system, in our Hindu culture. Then, of course, place of controlling. The Nyaya Sutra recognize 4 kind of evidence. First of 16 material, and these are direct evidence, which is very, very important. Then estimation, because I think any justice require an estimation, or because to eliminate doubts and to reach to the evidence, to the direct evidence, estimation, and then going forward for evidence is very, very important, with the comparison. So comparison is also one aspect of creating justice. And then in older times, evidence based on sound, that is also very, very important, which is mentioned in the Dharma Sutra. The Dharma Sutra are not only important, integral part of Vedic era, but also source of entire religious, social, and legal theories which were practiced earlier. And even now we take instances from these material which is written by Gautam Rishi. And most of the mainstay of entire Hindu society is also based on his Dharma Sutra. Gautam Rishi has a special place when we are talking about Hindu culture, or we talk about Saptarishis, because he is considered as one of the most pious, most dedicated towards his work, and a person who is most humble and always wanted to take care of people, serve people. So it is said that wherever he went, wherever he stayed, he created a temple of Shiva, because he was an ardent devotee of Bhagwan Shiva or God Shiva. So wherever he created this temple, that place became a place of event, because during his lifetime also, wherever he established the Shiva's temple, they became very popular. Even today, people visit and worship these temples, and worship those places also where Gautam Rishi visited. So he has contributed immensely. And when we are talking about his contribution or his place in Saptarishi, he is considered as one of the best Saptarishi, because he is a combination of intellect, combination of humble attitude, and combination of creating an atmosphere where people don't feel left out, but all the people being taken care, whosoever came into contact of Gautam Rishi. Rishi Gautam is a world's first jurist, and his contribution in the field of justice is immense. He is also one of the greatest Saptarishi. So this is something I wanted to tell you. If you like our content, please send us a comment. If you want to know more about Rishis, please also mention their name. We would like to cover that topic in our forthcoming episode. So we'll meet you again. Till then, take care and bye-bye.